Hello, second grade. Today we are doing a close reading purpose worksheet for our King Midas story. This story can be found on pages 10 to 13. Today's worksheet is on drawing inferences. Our directions read, reread paragraphs 5 to 12 of King Midas and make inferences to answer each question. Annotate clues in the text that help you infer. So looking at our story, we can read our paragraphs to help us. So our first question says, why does marigold turn to gold? Looking at paragraph 6, we can find the answer to this question. In the beginning of our story, King Midas wished that everything he touched would turn into gold. In paragraph 5, he touches marigold, and just as he wished, she turns to gold. So our answer for why does she turn to gold is because everything King Midas touches turns to gold. Everything King Midas touches turns to gold. So our sentence and our answer says everything King Midas touches turns to gold. So in the beginning of the story, he wished that everything he touched would turn to gold. In paragraph 5, he touches marigold, and just as he wished, she turns to gold. Our next question says, what lesson does King Midas learn after he sees what happened to marigold? So after he touched marigold and she turned to gold, in paragraphs 7 through 10, he's very upset. So the lesson he learned is that he made a terrible wish and doesn't actually want everything he touches to turn to gold. So we're going to say he made a terrible mistake. Not mistake, he made a terrible wish. And learned that he really didn't want everything he touched to turn to gold. So take a minute to write that sentence. It's a bit of a long one, but it reads, he made a terrible wish and learned that he really didn't want everything he touched to turn to gold. So in the beginning, he thought it was a good idea. He thought that he'd be wealthy if he touched things and they turned to gold. But then he realized that he wished that everything he touched, even marigold, would turn to gold. And he realized that wasn't really the best thing, and he changed his mind. So that was the lesson that he learned. When you're done writing this sentence, and we have both sentences answered, both of our questions, You can move on to the third question. You guys are going to complete this one by yourself. The third question reads, does Marigold remain a statue? And how do you know? So you're going to answer, yes, she remains a statue, or no, she doesn't. And how you know that. So we're making inferences from our story. You're going to look back in the paragraphs and in the text and say how you know that either she stays a statue or she doesn't. For our last question, it's the multiple choice question. I'm going to help you with this one. So the only one you'll have to complete on your own is this one. This says, read this sentence from the passage. The next morning the king awoke earlier than usual. You can tell that the king is excited, a light sleeper, or hard working. A, excited, B, a light sleeper, or C, hard working. The answer is A. He woke up earlier because he is excited. He woke up early because everything went back to normal. He was really upset that everything had turned gold, that even Marigold had turned into a golden statue. Then he took his wish back, and he woke up the next morning and saw that everything had returned to normal. So that's a hint. If you haven't answered this question yet, at the end we know everything goes back to normal. Once we have all three questions answered and our multiple choice, you can go ahead and submit it. Good work, second grade.